distinguished personalities on this occasion. As you have mentioned that we are having some distinguished personalities. So Honorable Vice Chancellor Professor Dr. Lutfur Rahman, and we are having some special guests. So Mr. Al Mamun Bida, Joint Secretary General, Bangladesh China's Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We are having our special guest, Chen Jiao, Secretary General, China Association for Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation. We are having Jiang Long Tao, Director, Bangladesh Branch, China Association for Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation. And we are having another distinguished personality with us today, Dr. Sultana Yasmin. She is a keynote speaker on this occasion, and she is from China, Central China Normal University, Wuhan, China. And definitely our moderator is Dr. Mohammed Mohsin. I would like to say a few words before we go to other speakers today. You know, China, it is one of the largest economies in the country. That's, to be very specific, this is the second largest economy in the world. And it is going to be the largest economy in the world. And on the other hand, if I'm talking about our country, Bangladesh, Bangladesh is one of the fastest growing economies in the world. Bangladesh in size is very small, but in terms of population, it is one of the large countries in the world. On the other hand, if you look at China, China is the biggest in terms of population in the world. So any kind of cooperation and collaboration between these two countries will be beneficial for both the countries. This is my strong belief. And you know, we are having a diplomatic relation. I mean, I'm talking about Bangladesh. We are having our diplomatic relation with China from 1976. But we have formally joined, or we joined formally in this BRI initiative, Belt and Road initiative in 2016, I guess so far I know. And we are having very strong trade relations between China and Bangladesh. And if I'm talking about our university, Daffodil International University, you know, it is one of the finest universities in our country. And we are giving equal emphasis on teaching and research. So always we are paying special attention on research activities on our campus. And as we understand that, BRI has some strategic priorities. And probably there are 5 priorities, strategic priorities in BRI. The first one is policy coordination or recommendation, number 1. Number 2 is infrastructural connectivity. Number 3 is uninterrupted trade. And number 4 is financial integration. And the 5th one is connecting people. So as a university, as a responsible institution in our country, I'm talking about our Daffodil International University, we have taken that initiative to establish a center, DIU, Daffodil International University, as a Belt and Road Research Center. And under this center, we'll be taking some initiative. Primarily, our focus will be on research. We'll be doing or undertaking some researches so that research and other initiatives later on we'll go for, so that we can do some good work, and finally we can contribute. So we can enhance the relationship between these two countries, friendly countries. I mean, China and Bangladesh. And so with these few words, I'd like to conclude here by welcome you all, our chief guest, our special guest, our keynote speaker, and all the participants who are joining on this session. I hope this discussion will be useful for all of us to have our insights about our relationship between Bangladesh and China, and our trade and other relationship between Bangladesh and China. So with these viewers, I'd like to conclude here by welcoming you all to this webinar. Thank you so much. I am over to Dr. Mohsin.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your valuable speech. So, I mean, it was outstanding. Now, actually, I would like to welcome our chief guest, Professor Dr. Lutfur Rahman, Honorable Vice Chancellor of Daffodil International University. Over to you, sir, just to welcome his, just to give his special speech. Over to you, sir.
On behalf of Daffodil International University, I welcome you all to this webinar on China, Bangladesh trade relations, a search for new opportunities under the Belt and Road Initiative. honorable special guest, Chen Jiao, Secretary General, Chengdu Association for Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation. Keynote speaker, Dr. Sultana Yasmin, Central China Normal University. Dr. Al Mamun Mirza, Joint Secretary General, Bangladesh China Chamber of Commerce and Industry, BCCI. Jiang Longtao, Director, Bangladesh Branch, Chengdu Association for Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation. Our very dear session chair, our faculty dean, Professor Dr. Muhammad Masum Iqbal. He is also director of Belt and Road Research Center here in Daffodil International University. And my dear colleague, Dr. A.M. Mohsin of Department of Business Administration. My regards to you all and a very good afternoon from Dhaka, Bangladesh. This is very interesting center and the activities are very interesting to me. Well, Bangladesh has traditionally good relations with China from ancient time. In the past years, many ancient times, many Chinese travelers visited Bangladesh and we remember them. And we also remember the historic Silk Road. Now, Belt and Road always reminds me this thing, the historic Silk Road. That is the ancient trade route from China to Indian subcontinent, to Persia, to the Middle East countries, to Turkey, and then this route extends up to Rome in Europe. So this is very interesting that following that tradition, there is a new concept that is Belt and Road project by Chinese. Well, as I was briefed by Honorable Dean, that after the recession of 2007, the economic business activities were decreased and the economy suffered a lot. So in order to regain these things, I think this Chinese initiative of current time is the Belt and Road and Build project. So I think this always reminds me that past Silk Road, which was a trade route, that I think has triggered the present situation, and now we are with the Belt and the Road project. And Daffodil International University is eager to set up this center, which the plan, etc., was presented little before. So this was, I think, the idea boosted up with the visit of Chinese president in 2016. And traditionally, as Bangladesh is a partner, development partner, cultural partner, business partner, lots of things we have with China. So with this thing in mind, well, to accelerate these activities of business, exchange of ideas between China and Bangladesh and other surrounding countries, this project was initiated with the patronage of Chinese government. And Chinese president, honorable president, visited us. That is, he came to Dhaka, I think 2016. And following that thing, we are inspired by a lot of Chinese projects going on here to establish the center. Our researchers, our people in that area, business, etc., they are taking steps to set up the center and conduct research in this area. Well, there are a lot of cooperation between China and Bangladesh for development of Bangladesh. Now, this Belt and Road Initiative objective was basically to exchange ideas and trade link for countries and strengthening business, etc., exports, imports, development, trade, communication, all sorts of things between the partner countries. And already Bangladesh is greatly benefited by friendship with Chinese in so many sectors. And this Belt and Road Research Center, I think, which has been set up in our university, is already started to produce product. And this webinar is one of them. I think the first one of it. So in here, I think researchers and participants from Bangladesh and many from China are taking part, and you will exchange ideas, views in connection with this cooperation and exchange of ideas, etc. Now, Bangladesh has already many Chinese projects. I must mention one or two in this respect. The famous Padma River projects. There are people here in this webinar. Few of them are from Bangladesh, so I don't need to mention them, mention about the Padma project to them, but it is really it's a great achievement to make the impossible thing to a reality. So this river Padma is a very ferocious river, a turbulent water flow, and very big, and it is absolutely difficult to tame this river and cross this river. The country was divided into two parts by this river. Now this great project is basically funded by Chinese government. I think is a great potential for us in Bangladesh, and this is an example of cooperation. So through these, the trades, the exchange of people, business, etc., a lot of things will be benefited in that part of Bangladesh, and a segmented part will be physically linked to the main part. So that's a big thing. The people loves the project. So hopefully, with the research and exchange of ideas and views through this center, that is Belt and Road Research Center, and with the cooperation of our international researchers and participants, especially from China, I think we can take more projects and take more business deals to make it meaningful and fruitful, especially for us in Bangladesh. So this center, I believe, will serve to offer much more research articles, activities for Bangladesh and for cooperation between Bangladesh and China. Well, besides this, the railway link through this bridge from capital Dhaka to the southwestern part of the country will be a great help for the development of internal business, communication, and a lot of things. So I think we have already started to get the benefit of this Belt and Road project of China. And these communication links will be extended overseas to other neighboring countries like Thailand, Burma, Bhutan, Nepal, India, etc. So that our linkage with our neighbors is enhanced greatly. Our business industry are benefited, and eventually let's hope that we will have direct road or railway link with China through our neighboring countries. And that will open a new era for all of us in this South Asia. So hopefully, with ideas, with research, the people of this part of the world will be greatly benefited. And we can have more cooperation in the years to come. So with these few words, I want to welcome you again to this webinar, and hopefully our people, our Honorable Dean, Professor Masoom Iqbal, our colleague, Dr. Mohsin, definitely will work and make this type of more research seminar centers in the Belt and Road Research Center. And our cooperation with China will increase with the progress of time. So I will thank the initiative taken by the Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship, especially by its Dean, Professor Masoom Iqbal, and the other people who are associated with the center, namely Dr. Mohsin and other teachers and researchers of the center. So I would like to thank my colleagues for making this initiative successful. Now, I will not talk much now because you will exchange valuable information between yourself. So I will thank you again for this great initiative, and I will thank the participants, especially from China and overseas, for joining this webinar. I hope your exchange will be very valuable and useful, and we will be benefited through this, especially our researchers and teachers will be greatly benefited through the presentations of today. With this, I want to say that this webinar will be a successful one, and we will all be benefited through this. So thank you again, dear colleagues and friends. So in the coming years, I think I will ask the organizers to hold this seminar face to face so that our friends from China and other countries can visit us in the campus, and we can have more relationship with them. With these few words, I thank you all again and wish a successful seminar today. Thank you.
All right, thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you for your insightful and valuable speech. I think, it was really wonderful. And thank you once again for your time, sir. And out of your busy schedule, you actually, spare some time for us. We are really appreciating, we are really appreciate for your time, actually. So now I have another announcement. We have our another guest join us. His name is Buzlur Rashid Sir, Commercial Counselor of Kunming Consulate General Office, Yunnan Province. Sir, could you please say hi to us?
Hey, hello to everybody, and hello to everybody. I'm here. I'm listening. I'm in a program. I'm listening.
All right. So yeah. So our Buzlur Rashid Sir is here. Actually, he joined from Kunming. He's a Kunming Consulate General Office. He's a counselor of Kunming Consulate General Office, Yunnan Province. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. And I really appreciated time that you actually, you actually make some time for us. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. All right, so it's time to call our special guest, Chen, Secretary General, Chengdu, China, Association for Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation, to give his special speech. Well, over to you, sir. Chen.
OK， Hello，
陈总，
各位嘉宾，各位孟加拉的朋友们，大家下午好。我是成都对外经贸促进会秘书长陈晓，感谢丹佛多国际大学“一带一路”研究中心的邀请，能够与各位嘉宾、学者共同讨论在“一带一路”倡议下中孟贸易等关系与新机遇。
Distinguished Bangladeshi guests and dear Bangladeshi friends, good afternoon. I am Chen, Secretary General from Chengdu Association for Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation, namely CAFTAC. I am thankful for the invitation from the Daffodil International University Belt and Road Research Center, so I am able to gather together with you to discuss today's topic.
近10多年来，我和我的团队也一直致力于经贸促进工作。借此机会，结合我会实际工作，我也阐述以下对此议题的理解与认识。
My team and I have been committed to promote economic and trade cooperation for more than 10 years. Taking this opportunity, combined with the actual work of my association, I will briefly explain my understanding on this topic.
孟加拉国与中国的经贸往来历史悠远长久，最早的贸易记录早在2200多年以前秦汉时期，就以成都为起点的南丝绸之路就有记载。
The economic and trade exchanges between Bangladesh and China have a long history. The earliest trade records can even be traced back to the Southern Silk Road, starting from Chengdu during China's Qin and Han dynasties more than 2,200 years ago.
孟加拉国建国以后，中国很快地成为了孟加拉国对外贸易的重要合作伙伴。近几年来，随着“一带一路”倡议的实施，中孟两国的双边贸易总额和增速都达到了两国贸易交往历史上的最高水平。
After the founding of Bangladesh, China has quickly become an important partner of Bangladesh's foreign trade. In recent years, with the implementation of the Belt and Road Initiative, the bilateral trade volume and growth rate between China and Bangladesh have reached the best level in history.
我会自建立之初就不断地推动成都与南亚各国的经贸交流合作，积极响应“一带一路”的倡议，举办了形式多样、内容丰富的线上线下活动，为两国企业提供了沟通交流机会，激发了两国企业实现更多的投资项目和合作机遇的探讨。
Since our establishment, we are continuing promoting economic and trade exchanges and cooperation between Chengdu and South Asian countries. We actively responded to the Belt and Road Initiative and have held various online and offline activities in different forms and contents, providing communication opportunities for enterprises of the two countries and stimulating discussions on the realization of more investment projects and cooperation opportunities between enterprises of the two countries.
例如，在过去的几天里，我会就多次的在成都举办孟中印缅经济走向发展的南亚产能合作对话会以及南亚商品交流会，邀请孟加拉政商界人士前来成都，推动四川与孟加拉的经贸交往。
For example, in the past few years, we have held the Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar Economic Corridor Development Forum, Chengdu Dialogue on South Asian Production Capacity Cooperation, and South Asian Commodity Trade Fair in Chengdu. We have invited people from the political and business circles of Bangladesh to come to Chengdu to promote economic and trade exchanges between Sichuan and Bangladesh.
自2020年起，我会就积极地推动开通成都至孟加拉国的固定货运航班，最终在2021年3月14号顺丰实现航线打通了孟加拉国与中国西南地直航空中货运的通道。在此航线运行过程中，我会以积极的协调各方资源，解决因新冠疫情导致的航班不能按时直飞的等等问题。目前此航线运作正常，货物充足。
Since 2020, we have been actively promoting the opening of Chengdu, Bangladesh cargo flight route. Finally, Shunfeng Express realized the maiden flight of the route on March 14, 2021, opening up the direct air cargo channel between Bangladesh and Southwest China. During the operation of this route, we also actively coordinated resources of all parties to resolve the problem that the flight cannot be operated on time due to the COVID-19 pandemic. At present, this route is operating normally and the cargo is sufficient.
为帮助两地也更好的交流，我会克服了重重困难，于2020年底在达卡设立了我会驻境外的办事处，线上与线下的活动并举，国内与国外双向联动，切实增强了两地经贸交流，提升了两国企业的合作。
In order to help enterprises in the two places to communicate better, we overcame the difficulties of the pandemic and set up an overseas office in Dhaka at the end of 2020. Online and offline activities are held simultaneously, and domestic and foreign two-way linkages have effectively enhanced the economic and trade exchanges between the two places. The level of cooperation between enterprises of the two countries has been improved.
今天非常高兴有参加此次会议，未来我会继续为推动四川与孟加拉国经贸合作搭建沟通的桥梁和合作的平台，也希望能借此机会进一步加深与各位的交流合作，共同努力增进两国人民的福祉，促进两国经贸发展。谢谢大家。
I'm very happy and honored to participate in this seminar today. In the future, we will continue to build a bridge of communication and a cooperation platform for promoting economic and trade cooperation between Sichuan and Bangladesh. I also hope to take this opportunity to further deepen exchanges and cooperation with all of you, work together to enhance the well-being of the peoples from Bangladesh and China, and promote the economic and trade development of the two countries. Thank you.
Well, thank you so much. And thank you, Secretary General Chen Xiao, for your wonderful presentation and space. Actually, he tried to talk about the foreign trade and the different cooperation between China and Bangladesh. And he came up with a lot of information. And still, they have an office in Dhaka. They say, and they are actually executing in different mode, like in actual hybrid mode, online and offline simultaneously. So I think all of you got the brief idea from his speech. Thank you very much once again, Chen Xiao. Thank you so much. So it's time to call our another special guest, Al Mahmood Mida, Joint Secretary General, Bangladesh China Chamber of Commerce Industry, BCCCI. Over to you, sir.
I just intervene. I want to leave. I have some business there, so I must leave. And I thank you everybody, including our dean.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for being with us, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum. Wish you a success of the webinar. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you for your time, sir. Okay, Al Mahmood Mida, sir, over to you.
Thank you. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Okay. So, distinguished chief guest, Professor Dr. M. Latifur Rahman, he just left, but still, I guess he's with us with the spirit. Honorable Vice Chancellor, DIU, today's chair, Professor Dr. Muhammad Masum Iqbal, Director, DIU, Belt and Road Research Center, Dean, Faculty of Business and Entrepreneurship, special guest, my old friend, Mr. Chen Xiao. Very warm welcome. Great to see you after a long time. So, Honorable General Secretary of CAPTEC, special guest, Mr. Jian Longtao, Director, Bangladesh Branch, CAPTEC, and the keynote speaker, Dr. Sultana Yasmin, Central China Normal University, Wuhan, China, and all other speakers, panelists, dignitaries, scholars, and friends from everywhere. A very warm welcome to today's discussion. Assalamu alaikum and good evening. It's a great pleasure to be invited at today's webinar under the theme China-Bangladesh Trade Relation, a search for new opportunities under the Belt and Road Initiative. I'm Al-Mamun Mridha, Joint Secretary General of Bangladesh-China Chamber of Commerce and Industries. I would like to share a few thoughts with the expert scholars and my old friends about Bangladesh and China trade relationship in new era. So, ladies and gentlemen, Bangladesh is a good neighbor and good friend of China. As we all know, in recent years, the development of Bangladesh-China relationship has been promoted into a first track. During the successful state visit of President Xi Jinping in Bangladesh in October 2016, our bilateral relationship has evolved to a strategic partnership of cooperation, which started a new chapter in Bangladesh-China relationship. In 2020-21, the value of bilateral trade between two countries reached around $14 billion, where Bangladesh has a very minimum amount of $1 billion, where we need to work a lot in our future days. But still, our industries and our economy is heavily dependent on the Chinese products and the services from the Chinese friends. In 2020, China offered us 97% of the Bangladeshi product to have the duty-free access in the market, and around 8,547 products came under the treatment. But some leather and leather good and some major exportable items were actually left out of the facilities. So we have been talking about this issue, and finally, our Chinese friend has considered those products to have duty-free access in China. And the good news is around 98% of the Bangladeshi product will go duty-free from now on. And 383 new products, especially the leather and leather goods, will enjoy the zero duty facilitation in China. That's a very big progress from Bangladesh side. We are also realizing the importance of research and intelligence. Daffodil International University has stepped up to address the issue in the case of researching and understanding the Belt and Road Initiative, BRI. The Daffodil International University Belt and Road Research Center is the first organization of this kind. And I'm very happy that finally someone has taken the step to work on these very important issues. So I congratulate DIU for their great initiative. Today we are here to discuss about the implication and connecting the initiative like BRI, a project that aims to strengthen the regional cooperation by strengthening economic partnership by linking the sub-regions of South Asia, and especially Southeast Asia. Bangladesh is connected with the BRI through BSIM Economic Corridor. It was formally endorsed during the first intergovernment study group meeting in Kunming held in 2013. And I'm very happy to let you know that we played a very major part in that discussion. The delegation from Bangladesh-China Chamber was present there, who actually contributed and helped formulating the ideas from Bangladesh part since 2013. So when we joined BRI, it was a great moment of achievement and happiness for Bangladesh-China Chamber of Commerce. So the corridor is covered 1.65 million square kilometer, which includes 440 million people. As our honorable chief guest already mentioned, 9 projects are running under the BRI. And since he has already talked about this issue, I'm not going to talk much about this issue, but there are some projects that I should also mention, like the Bangabandhu Tunnel under the Karnafuli River, the Dasherkandi Swaraj Treatment Plant, and Elevated Expressway, Dhaka Airport expansion, and Matarbari Deep Sea Port, and many other projects are actually ongoing, which will greatly benefit Bangladesh in the future days. BRI hold promises to deliver the physical and soft infrastructure to foster connectivity and economic development across the corridors. It's a great, I will say it's a win-win situation for both the country and for the entire region. BRI provides an opportunity to seize benefit, particularly in the areas of trade, investment, connectivity, education, tourism, and many other areas through the strong ties with the countries, particularly in the Southeast Asian region. We will tighten the bonds of cultural communication, jointly promote exchanges in the field of education, science, and technology, culture, education, health, and carry our fruitful assistance program for the people's livelihood centered around the Belt and Road Initiative, with the aim to establish the people-to-people connectivity. We should continue to deepen the cooperation in the fields of poverty reduction, local development, smart cities, rural governance, and strengthen the collaboration in the tourism, archaeology, heritage protection. The culture and creative industries should be given preferences. We should actively expand the cooperation in new media, news, films, television, and tell more exciting and touching stories of Bangladesh and China together. So, ladies and gentlemen, all you are experts in the relative fields. You are welcome to contribute to development of the future Bangladesh-China relationship. Through this forum, I look forward for a wonderful keynote speech. Thank you once again.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Meso Sir, for your wonderful speech. We really appreciate your time as well. Thank you once again. So it's time to call our another special guest, Jian Longtao, Director, Bangladesh Branch, Chengdu, China, Association for Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation. Over to you, Jian Longtao.
So good afternoon and good evening, everybody. Can you see my screen?
Yes, it's visible.
Okay, thank you. So distinguished Bangladeshi guests and my dear Bangladeshi friends, and also Honorable Mr. Bruzo Rashid and Mr. El Moma Mirat from BCCCI. Good evening. I'm Jian Longtao, Director of CAFTEC Bangladesh branch. I'm very happy and honored to participate in this seminar today. So here I will mainly share what we are doing in Bangladesh to promote bilateral economic and trade cooperation. I hope I can get some suggestions from all of you, and so I can have some inspirations to better my future work. So actually, as a non-profit organization, our headquarters is in Chengdu, the starting route of the Southern Silk Road. And now we have set up 4 branches overseas, and 1 is in Bangladesh. And our office location is in Gusantu area, very near the China embassy. And even though the pandemic is still going on and the travel restriction is very tight, but we managed to have the opening ceremony last year in September the 30th. And this is what we are doing and promoting. Like Secretary General said, in 2020, we have actively promoted the opening of the cargo flight from Chengdu to Dhaka. Together with the help of Mr. Mansoor Uddin and Mr. Ding Chen from Overseas Association in Bangladesh, SF Airline has successfully launched its maiden flight on March the 14th, 2021. And now the cargo is operating smoothly, 4 flights per week. And just 2 weeks back, we visited the Consul General of the People's Republic of Bangladesh. And there we also visited our Honorable Mr. Brother Rashid, who is also in this meeting today. So thanks for their help, so we can better promote the economic and trade cooperations between Sichuan and Bangladesh. This is we attending the 5th anniversary of Bangladesh independence reception. Here is our history with the Bangladesh, like our delegation in Bangladesh. And the right picture is in 2015. We visited BCCCI, Mr. Mahmoud Mireda's organization. You are also in the picture. And we also visited FBCCI and BIDA. And also we are organizing before the pandemic so many meetings and seminars offline. We invited so many Bangladesh political and business people to come to Chengdu to have the Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar Economic Corridor Development Forum. And also we are organizing the China Chengdu South Asia Commodity Trade Fair for 5 years. So every year we are going to invite some Bangladesh traders, people, to bring your Bangladesh products to Chengdu to promote your products in South Asia, China, and all around China. And also from 2014 to 2018, we are also organizing the Chengdu Dialogue on South Asia, Pan-Asia Production Capacity Forum to discuss how to work together. And also from 2018 to 2020, so on the China International Import Expo Show, we organized the Chengdu Procurement Signing Ceremony to buy some South Asia commodities and the Bangladesh commodities. This is a 2019 Chengdu South Asia Procurement and Trade Expo. And since the pandemic, we have opened our branch in Dhaka, but like our Secretary General said, we have shifted some of our activities to online. So this is with the help of Honorable Mr. Brother Rashid. He connected us with the TMSS group in Bangladesh. So we are trying to bring the vocational education together between Bangladesh and China. This is in the medical area. We brought Drug International Limited from Bangladesh and the Sichuan Golden Star from Biotechnology Corporation from Sichuan to discussing some medical issues and cooperations between these two places. Also, this is Sichuan High-Tech Corporation Limited. And they can do aircraft maintenance, aircraft overhaul, and they can change passenger aircraft to cargo aircraft. And also we invited some like Nova Air from Bangladesh to participate in this meeting to have more mutual understanding. This is the Space Star technology. Actually, they have the GPS satellites can be applied to fishery, agriculture, traffic, and also so many Bangladesh friends participated in this meeting to exchange the ideas. This is the Chengdu Jimmy technology. Also, Mr. Abu Tahir from BCCCI participated in this meeting. That's all of our history with Bangladesh and the activities we are doing to promote the mutual economic and trade cooperations. Thank you. Thank you again. Thanks again for the invitation from the Daffodil International University Belt and Road Research Center. Thank you.
Thank you so much. It was absolutely wonderful presentation. So you have come up with all the activities that you have done recently. Thank you so much once again, Jian Longtao, Director, Bangladesh Branch, Chengdu, China Association for Foreign Trade and Economic Cooperation. So, it was really, really wonderful and insightful presentation. We all enjoyed it. Thank you once again. So it's an honor to call our keynote speaker right now, Dr. Sultana Yasmin, Central China Normal University. So she's going to give us a presentation, and this presentation is followed by question and answer session. So all the participants, you are advised or you are requested to ask any queries, any question you may have, at the end of the presentation. So thank you very much. Thank you very much, Jian Longta, once again for your time, and we really appreciate that. Now I'm welcoming Dr. Sultana Yasmin. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you, the moderator, to giving me the chance to present, actually to share my thoughts on this issue. This is Sultana Yasmin. I have completed PhD from Central China Normal University, particularly on trade, Bangladesh and trade relations. So actually, I'm feeling very happy and delighted to be the first keynote speaker arranged by the Daffodil International University Belt and Road Research Center. I have also come to know many issues, the facts and issues and activities of this institute. I welcome all of the programs, and it's my best wishes for this institute to go ahead with more success in future. So I would like to share my thoughts and to share my screen as well and the PowerPoint on my topic. First is that. Well, I would like to discuss on the China-Bangladesh trade relations, particularly on the framework of the Belt and Road Initiative. So I would like to focus on this, basically on the challenges the countries on the trade relations remaining between the two countries. So the trade remains the cornerstone of China-Bangladesh bilateral relations. The common economic and trade interests have boosted developed the relationship between the two countries. China's economic interest assistance actually has promoted Bangladesh's interest to actively develop its ties with China, and Bangladesh's geostrategic location and huge economic potential, actually the big market opportunity, has developed and made Chinese entrepreneurs listen Bangladesh into China's good neighboring policy. So what is the significance of China-Bangladesh trade relations? It's very important to know because China and Bangladesh are the two significant trade partners in the Asian region, and China is the single largest trading partner, the largest trading partner of Bangladesh. And Bangladesh has become a very lucrative destination for Chinese goods, which offers China a reasonably good market for China. And on the other hand, China is the biggest source of imports of goods for Bangladesh. And Bangladesh's total imports from China in the fiscal year 2020-2021 amounted to about 13 billion, which is 1/4 of the country's import expenditure. So Bangladesh means a lot also for China because China is the biggest source of imports of goods. Sorry, yes, China is the biggest source of imports of goods of Bangladesh. But what are the key challenges remaining between the two countries, particularly on the trade relations? I would first like to mention the trade. In my study, I found that trade imbalance is the key challenge remaining in the Bangladesh-China trade relations, particularly in economic relations. Because Bangladesh's major export destinations are Germany, the United States, the United Kingdom, Spain, and France, but not China, right? Bangladesh's major import sources are China, India, Singapore, Malaysia, and Indonesia, and others, so on. China became the largest export destination for Bangladesh's destination of Bangladesh's imports for the first time, surpassing India in 2005. Before that, India was the main source of imports for Bangladesh, but China became the first, took the first place and became the largest destination of Bangladesh imports for the first time in 2005. So what are the Bangladesh's major import items from China? The cotton articles of apparel, accessories, special woven, fabric, knitted and fabric or man-made, staple fibers, machinery, electrical and electrical equipments, articles of iron and steel, man-made, helmets and plastics and vehicles and others, so on. So Bangladesh imports a lot from China, almost all of the products actually, you can say. So, and the largest items of Bangladesh, so what exports Bangladesh? The largest items of export from Bangladesh to China, the apparel, mainly the apparel products, jute and jute products, frozen fish, and plastic products. And Bangladesh also exports some other products like seeds, cotton, wasps, and products and electronic equipment of it. So you can see that Bangladesh has a huge trade deficit with China in its major exportable products also. Bangladesh import a lot, and even Bangladesh has a huge trade deficit that the major exportable products, including apparel, leather, pharmaceutical, plastic, and plastic products. These are the key products of Bangladesh's major exportable products. So we have also trade deficits with China in these products too. So it's a major issue of concern for my country. You can see in the slide that in the table that I'm showing that the trade deficit, Bangladesh is increasing trade deficit with China from 1980 to 2001. You can see the negative balance of trade between the two countries. Persistent trade imbalance. And you can also see that the trade imbalance between the two countries from 2000 to 2018. So Bangladesh also has been facing the negative balance of trade with China. Actually, why I'm discussing, many may ask questions that Bangladesh is a least developing country and going to be a developing country in 2026, and China is the world's second largest country. So it's very common to compare, to think that Bangladesh would be, China would be the always face the trade favor and then trade balance, and Bangladesh with the face trade deficit. But it's a common when you face the persistent trade deficits, then it becomes an issue of concern, right? Because there are many countries, even within the states, Bangladesh faces the trade balance with some products. But in China, when you always face the deficits, it creates some problems like that. I have been discussing the key factors that why I'm discussing on this issue and why it's a becoming concern for emerging country like Bangladesh. The first one is I have already mentioned that Bangladesh has been experiencing persistent negative balance of trade with its major trading partners, including China. And China has become, trade has become one-sided in favor of China. So one-sided trade pattern can generate feelings of deprivation in the case of losing access to the market of the trading partner. Bangladesh may think that why after taking these initiatives, why the trade balance becoming not in favor of Bangladesh. I would also like to mention that in my study, I have also found that sometimes trade deficit becomes a challenge for poor countries, emerging countries, or least developed countries, because persistent trade deficit creates a problem for them. Creates a deprivation, creates also creates a lack of expectations that why these countries are not being able to increase their exports into these distinct places or destinations. So it may create some deprivations or some challenge. And trade imbalance has also become a matter of concern, particularly for Bangladesh, as the country's trade balance with China remains largely negative. Always you can see the share, you can see that Bangladesh's exports had even not been increased to reach 1 billion, right? So it's a concern for the country. Bangladesh is also not a significant part. Another important factor is that Bangladesh is not a significant part of China's sheer import market. You all may have come to know that China is now the world's second largest importer or consumer. Under the Belt and Road Initiative, China has increased its measures to improve the trade balance between its and its participating countries' economies, Belt and Road participating economies. So it's a good factor for all of the countries, particularly for the poor countries and the least developed countries or emerging economies, all we can say. But the fact is that the concern is that Bangladesh is also not being able to take the chance. Even in this fiscal year, you will be disappointed to see the ratio, Bangladesh's rate of export to China. Bangladesh has not been able to increase its rate, it rather has decreased in this fiscal year. So the fact is that I'm trying to say that Bangladesh is not being able to be a significant part of China's sheer import market. Obviously, I'd like to mention the significance of trade in the Belt and Road, because the topic I have chosen on the I would like to discuss the topic on the basis of the key challenge, right? I have already mentioned the trade imbalance is the key challenge between the two countries in trade relations. Now I'd like to discuss what is the significance of trade in Belt and Road Initiative, right? It's very important. Why trade is very important in this initiative? Belt and Road Initiative is a strategy initiated by China that seeks to connect Asia with Africa, Europe via land and maritime networks with the aim of improving regional integration, expanding global trade, and stimulating economic growth. So you can know that you can see that the significance of the trade in Belt and Road Initiative. It particularly focuses on boosting trade or accelerate trade between or among participating economies. Actually, the framework was proposed firstly by the Chinese President Xi Jinping in late 2013 under the broad heading of the Silk Road Economic Belt and the 21st Century Maritime Silk Road. So the current membership, the 86 member states from six continents up to 2020, and the major source of funding, Asian Infrastructure Investment Bank, also the Silk Road Fund also contribute to this initiative. The broad objectives of the Belt and Road Initiative is to build a community of shared interest, destiny, and responsibility featuring mutual political trust, economic integration, and cultural inclusiveness. But one of the key 5 cooperation priorities of Belt and Road Initiative is unimpeded trade. Just a look at this. Unimpeded trade is the main focus of the key priorities of Belt and Road Initiative. So we can understand the significance. And Belt and Road Initiative's ultimate goal is to raise economic growth, facilitate mutual benefit, and contribute towards regional economic development. And under the Belt and Road Initiative, China will contribute to open up its market. That I have already mentioned that in order to boost trade between or among Belt and Road participating economies, China has taken major initiatives to import from its neighboring economies or trading partners to make a balance of trade with its trading partners. So for this reason, China will contribute, has promised to contribute to open up its market, but providing more access to foreign products to enter the Chinese market. It's the good message for us. And the 5 issue is that the last important factor is that investment and trade will be synergized or incorporated to drive more trade with investment. You all may have come to know that investment has become a very important element or factor in Belt and Road Initiative, and Bangladesh is one of the beneficiaries of this. So we hope that there will be the incorporation between or synergization between investment and trade to drive more trade with investment. So far, it's also important to know what the development has been made between China and Bangladesh under the Belt and Road Initiative. So far, what the 2 countries have achieved under the framework. Firstly, Bangladesh formally joined Belt and Road Initiative during Chinese President Xi Jinping's visit in October 2016. And China-Bangladesh economic cooperation has gained momentum progress under the framework of Belt and Road Initiative, and Bangladesh persists. Even the most important thing is that Bangladesh persists Belt and Road Initiative as an enormous opportunity of becoming a middle-income country by 2021 and a developing country by 2041. So it gives importance that what Bangladesh perceives the Belt and Road Initiative and how Bangladesh gives emphasis on importance to this initiative. Under this framework, China granted zero treatment to 97% of tariff products of Bangladesh in June 2020. It was a great progress for Bangladesh and achievement too. China also very recently, one of the respected sir has mentioned that China decided to grant duty-free access to 98% of Bangladeshi goods with the inclusion of 383 new products, especially leather and leather goods that was earlier not included in this project, but in these packages now our leather and leather goods have also been included. You all know that leather and leather goods are one of the major export products of Bangladesh. So Bangladesh can take the chance to balance its trade with China. Another factor is that Bangladesh has been one of the largest recipients of China's development assistance in the form of grant interest-free loan, Chinese government concessional loan, and preferential buyer's credit crucial for Bangladesh infrastructure development. These have been achieved under the framework of Belt and Road Initiative. And Bangladesh has already become the largest recipient of Chinese loans after Pakistan under the Belt and Road Initiative in South Asia. What are the ongoing projects? Honorable Respected Sir has already mentioned that the ongoing project in China, Chinese funded project in Bangladesh with the Chinese incorporation, Padma Rail Bring project. I have just mentioned some name, national ITC infra network. You can see that the multi-road turnaround, the Cornflake River, installation of single point mooring, modernization of telecom network. These are the major projects, ongoing projects with Chinese firms in Bangladesh. So this is the main theme on of my topic and my discussion, that what future we can in future what we can achieve, because there are the main key problem I have been in my topic in my presentation. I have said that the trade deficit or trade imbalance is the key concern or key problem between the two countries in trade relations. So how, and I will particularly discuss on the key point too, because I have been discussing on this trade under the Belt and Road Initiative. So I would like to focus on the key prospects, what we can achieve, the two countries can achieve to solve the problem, to solve the key concern, and to boost trade ties between the two countries in future. So how Belt and Road Initiative can offer the two countries in future. The Belt and Road Initiatives provides, actually I have already mentioned that, provides an opportunity to seize the mutual benefits, particularly in the areas of trade and investment. An opportunity remains, huge opportunity remains in the direction of transport cost and trade facilitation from both sides through the revival of BCI, Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar Economic Corridor, and building Kolkata to Kunmir Economic Corridor. Many already you have mentioned about the Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar Economic Corridor. That was the first theme to Bangladesh's inclusion in the Belt and Road Initiative, because BCI is one of the key corridor factors from to incorporate South Asian countries into South and Southeast Asian countries in the Belt and Road Initiative. But there are some geopolitical complexities. You all know the problems from Indian side and Myanmar side. For this reason, despite taking several initiatives, we haven't been able to see the successful conclusion of this initiative. But still, Bangladesh is very hopeful, China is very hopeful, and I do believe that our Indian friends and Myanmar friends will also be hopeful, very hopeful to revive the project to facilitate the trade among the four countries under the Belt and Road Initiative, overcoming all these geopolitical problems and challenges. So if we are not being able to revive the Belt and Road Initiative, the dream to reduce the transport cost under the framework will always remain a dream, because if the successful completion, we cannot see the successful completion of Belt and Road Initiative, then it would be very difficult to reduce the cost of transport cost and to build the Kolkata to Kunmir Economic Corridor. So it's very important. I do believe and firmly believe that in future, all the four countries will be united to revive the Belt and Road Initiative and to reduce the transport cost, to boost trade among all the four countries through the building Kolkata to Kunming Economic Corridor. And Belt and Road can also facilitate cross-border. I have already mentioned that how the Kolkata to Kunming Economic Corridor can boost trade. There's a very important thing is the cross-border trade, because you have seen that how pandemic has threatened, particularly the lower countries and least developed countries or emerging economies, developing economies, that the cross-border trade or supply chain problems happened. So disrupted the supply chain, disrupted the cross-border trade. So it's very important to revive the trade corridor and to facilitate the cross-border trade to improving connectivity and regional cooperation, because connectivity is a very, very crucial theme, an important theme of the Belt and Road Initiative. So Belt and Road, the four countries need to further negotiate and to build cooperation to revive the Belt and Road Economic Corridor, so that all these countries are beneficial and facilitate cross-border trade to improving connectivity and regional integration. And given the concern of Chinese, in my study, I have also found that although China is the second largest importer and consumer, China now have taken very initiative to ensure the health safety, the safety of the products enter into Chinese market. So China has taken very initiative to ensure the product. If you can't ensure the quality of the product, China will not take, because safety consumers is very important for China. So it's very important for all countries that would like to boost its trade, its export to Chinese market, that they need to ensure the quality of the products. So these countries need to ensure the quality of the products. So in my study, I have also found that there are technical and non-technical barriers in trade, because rules of origin and the quality of the products, this is the tariff and non-tariff barriers. You can also say the non-tariff barriers is very important. It's very concern for the for those countries who want these countries would like to export these products. So there are some technical and non-technical barriers from Chinese side, and Belt and Road Initiative can be a very significant platform for negotiation of or bilateral discussion of favorable Chinese terms and conditions to access to Chinese market. It can create a framework or dialogue that how Bangladesh can deal with Chinese counterparts, Chinese businessmen, Chinese policymakers to reduce or to listen the terms and conditions. You all know that 40% validation is needed to get into the Chinese market. Quality is very important to ensure to get into the Chinese market. So Bangladesh can discuss how Bangladesh can improve the quality to make a dialogue, with discussion with Chinese counterparts and businessmen to boost its exports into Chinese market and to enter the Chinese market. All Belt and Road Initiative can also be significant platform for holding trade negotiations. I have already mentioned the trade negotiations or bilateral discussions on Bangladesh's preferential market access to China even after its LDC graduation. You all know that Bangladesh is not still a least developed country. The United Nations are recommended for Bangladesh, a developing country. Bangladesh has been successfully being able to be recommended from the United Nations, and we all are hopeful that Bangladesh will be able to be to graduate and to lead the status of LDC countries and to be a developing country in 2026. So it's also, of course, a good news for us, but it's also a concern because after this graduation, we're going to leave. We're going to lose some preferential market access that I have already mentioned, that 98% Bangladeshi products will be getting duty-free access to Chinese market. So after the LDC status, we lose the LDC status, Bangladesh will also lose this preferential trade access to Chinese market. So it can also be a platform so that how Bangladesh can get more access after its LDC graduation into Chinese market to get Chinese preference and Chinese preferential access from China to get preferential access to Chinese market. So Bangladesh also need to make economic diplomacy with China, and Belt and Road Initiative can be a significant platform in this regard. It is also important to make the space for competitive advantage. In my study, I've also found that there are very lack of space for competitive advantage between the two countries or specialization of products from both sides to make their trade mutually beneficial, because you know that China produces everything. China has everything, huge market, share market. Although China is the largest second importer, largest importer and consumer, because China has huge demand both from domestic products and internal side from external side. China is the second largest biggest economy and the second largest importer, but quality assurance and is very important to boost its products, and it's also very important for quite challenging for Bangladesh that how Bangladesh can boost its the number or increase its number exportable products to Chinese market, because China produces everything. So there is a chance that China is the largest importer. So how Bangladesh can get the chance? How Bangladesh entrepreneurs or businessmen can discuss with Chinese entrepreneurs and business persons that how the two countries can create a space for competitive advantage Bangladesh can take, because you all know that China has been entering into a new model and new normal model. So some companies are being not in operating in China, like this some side econ business industries. So Bangladesh can take this opportunity. Bangladesh can be the huge we have no huge population and low cost. We can take this opportunity. We can produce these products and we can export these products to Chinese market. So there should be a bilateral discussion, and the Belt and Road Initiative can offer this opportunity to both these countries and to make the trade mutually beneficial for Bangladesh, for Bangladesh and China. And given this, besides the trade, Bangladesh has paid emphasis on Chinese investment in the supply chain to reduce trade gap with China. In my earlier discussion, I have already mentioned that China now has taken initiative to incorporate trade and investment, because Bangladesh is a very good place for Chinese investment. And Bangladeshi government is very interested to give the chance to Chinese policymakers and to Chinese businessmen to make the best use of Bangladesh to make a Chinese hub, investment hub for China. So Bangladeshi government has paid emphasis on Chinese investment and to reduce the trade gap with China, and Belt and Road Initiative can offer this opportunity and can be a significant platform for both of these countries to be mutually beneficial. And China-Bangladesh partnership in the value chain can also make Bangladesh a hub for China. I have already mentioned that there is a huge opportunity for Chinese also to be the best use of Bangladesh's land and the opportunities, the huge manpower we have, the low cost. So Chinese entrepreneurs can take this opportunity, and Belt and Road initiative can be a significant platform in this regard too. Also, I have already mentioned that Chinese entrepreneurs can set up joint venture in industries. It is a very popular term nowadays. Both countries are very interested to set up joint venture industries in Bangladesh's leather goods, information technology, light engineering, agro-processing foods, shipbuilding, and high value-added textile products too. Because there are some, when China has focused on the high quality products, machinery products, and equipments, so some sunset industries or some low-cost products are not getting chance in Chinese industry. So they can take this opportunity. They can come to Bangladesh, set up joint venture, and both these countries can be beneficial, mutually benefited from this. And Belt and Road initiative can offer this opportunity. I think both the countries can take this opportunity. And China-Bangladesh enhanced economic cooperation under the framework of Belt and Road can intensify Chinese investment, I already mentioned, and boost Bangladesh export to Chinese markets. And China-based Asian Infrastructure Investment (AIIB) and Silk Road Fund on the Belt and Road reaffirmed Chinese commitment to boost to transport trade and investment facilities through fostering connectivity and infrastructure development across the Belt and Road under the new normal model that I have already mentioned. That there are huge opportunities, and both these countries can take it under the Belt and Road Forum. So in my conclusion, I would like to mention the key observations and hope. I am very hopeful on this because both China and Bangladesh, the closer neighbors in Asian region, have been maintaining deeper political, economic, diplomatic, and military relations based on mutual trust and interest in the establishment of the diplomatic relations in 1975. You all know that all the governments of Bangladesh are very, very interested to build ties with China, and almost all of the political leaders have developed ties with between the two countries. In the almost all regions, you will find the positive outcomes, and all these leaders have tried their best to build ties with China. And China-Bangladesh economic relations have been undergoing through a new dimension in the 21st century under the wider scope of mutual cooperation and benefits. And we already know that one of the respected sir has mentioned that China-Bangladesh comprehensive partnership cooperation turned into the strategic partnership cooperation in 2016, which introduced a new impetus into China-Bangladesh bilateral ties. So this type of intensive engagements and heightened cooperation has increased strategic partnership cooperation between the two countries, remaining quite different from the earlier comprehensive partnership. So both countries are expected to further enhance their ties under the leverage of framework of Belt and Road Initiative. So I'm very hopeful in this regard, and I do best that both countries will try their best to be mutually beneficial economically, particularly to boost the ties, to boost their investment, to balance trade between the two countries, and to be mutually beneficial. This is Sultanes. I'd like to end it. Thank you for listening to me.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you, Dr. Sultana Yasmin. And thank you for your wonderful presentation. So she talked about the development of China-Bangladesh economic relations under Belt and Road Initiative and its future prospect under Belt and Road Initiative. So she came up with all these simplifications and some sort of the categories and the relationship between these two countries and the prospect, actually the future prospect under this great initiative, Belt and Road Initiative. So, I mean, it was wonderful presentation. So I would like to request participants, if you have any question, any queries, you can raise hand. We'll take like few questions out of the questions. If you ask, then we'll try to catch a few questions. If you have any queries, any question, please raise your hand. Any question, anything, any queries? All right. All right. Let me check.
Someone has a comments.
Yeah. So we got a question from Deepu Roy. He said, what is the expected percentage rate of export after BRI after BRI actually, after Belt and Road Initiative? What is the expected percentage rate of export? It's supposed to be rate. So he asked actually the expected percentage of rate export after actually implementing this Belt and Road Initiative. I guess he tried to ask this question actually. I mean, what will happen to the rate of export actually,
Yes,
after implementing the BRI?
Actually, you cannot always measure. I would just like to mention that to improve the trade balance, right, to reduce the trade deficit, export is like the Bangladesh has not been even to being able to cross 1 billion, right? So it's very well. China has exporting level is 13 billion, so we are below the 1 billion. So it's very important at least to increase rate. You cannot always measure that the expected level. I cannot measure it, but to improve a significant level that Bangladesh can boost. And it's also very important, I had mentioned in my lecture, that to make a competitive advantage in space for specialization, that where China might have low experts on this, and Bangladesh can take this opportunity to export its products with Chinese market, because China is now the world's second largest importer and consumer. Bangladesh should take this opportunity. And you have also know that China has reduced offer duty-free access to Bangladesh products on 98%, including tariff leather and leather goods. So Bangladesh has got this opportunity this year, 2022, and we are gonna to leave this LDC status in 2026. So very few years we have to take this opportunity, but Bangladesh can discuss with Chinese entrepreneurs to reduce the terms and conditions, to improve the quality, how Chinese can offer, how China can offer in this, can help in to as Bangladesh's entrepreneurs, businessmen, to boost their exports in China. So Belt and Road can be a significant platform in this regard. And you cannot measure always the level. I'm just measure, but I'm just telling that to significantly improve its exports into Chinese market, including all those, there are some products that Bangladesh has not good export destinations in other places. So Bangladesh can take this opportunity to export its level that there are not major exportable products. So Bangladesh can produce these products and export these products into Chinese market. Yes.
All right. Thank you. Thank you so much, man, for answering this question. So do you have any other question?
Yeah. Dr. Mohsin, I got a question to ask.
So
can I get
our respected faculty, Dr. Tanvir Ravish, sir. So he came up with a question. Yes, sir. Over to you, sir. You can ask the question.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Actually, when I was listening the presentation of Professor Dr. Yasmin, okay, hang on a second. So, can you hear me clearly?
Yes, sir.
Okay. To be honest, relation between Bangladesh and China is a long-term bondage, and there is historical relation. And the way Chinese government is helping Bangladesh, if we look at the figures, last 20 to 25 years, and most importantly, last 10 years, Bangladesh government, taking up a lot of, initiatives in consultation with the Chinese government as well. So Bangladesh getting more financial assistance from the Chinese government, and we already noticed in few areas Bangladesh is progressing, and as a economic cooperation between these two countries is growing very fast, and importance is growing as well. But when I look at under the banner of BRI and connectivity between around how many countries, maybe if I'm not wrong, is the 70 countries.
Yeah, more than 60.
Yeah, am I correct? 70 countries. Actually, being a researcher, what I feel is, can China afford this kind of very high ambitious project, as well as Westerns are also criticizing China. Sort of debt trap diplomacy could be happen. It could be hypothetical. I'm not sure, because we always get some news and views from different international medias. So in this kind of dilemma, actually, how Chinese government can solve this problem and taking to this initiative, really this initiative, if it happened, the whole world will be changed, no doubt about it. But connectivity with 70 countries, to be honest, from my point of view, is very high ambitious project. And really, I'm looking into it. If it happens and getting success in it, definitely the whole world will be changed, dramatically. Thank you very much.
All right, so thank you, sir. Thank you for asking this question. Over to you, Sultan Yasmin, ma'am. Actually, yeah.
Thank you, sir, for raising these two important issues. Yes, Chinese embassy, Chinese project, Belt and Road Initiative project, is a very high ambitious project, and is already connects more than 80 countries. Yes, the questions that there is the questions that whether China will be able to afford this to the initiative successfully, to implement it successfully or not, and the Western criticism over it related to debt trap. Regarding this first issue, I would like to mention that yes, starting from 2013 to 2022, we can see a huge progress of this initiative. And already you know that several countries have included, even from European Union, Europe, and China has built up several connectivity programs. Although we are not being able to see a success of the Bangladesh, China, India, Myanmar economic corridor due to some geopolitical complexities, but you can see around how China has built transport networks with its neighboring countries, Belt and Road Participating Economic Metro Rail projects. You can see that China has developed trade routes and with European country. And many European countries are also being interested to join it, despite having some criticism from Western side, particularly from the United States. So many European countries are also being interested to join, and we have seen a successful implementation of this framework. You can see that there already have some transport network have been built with Belt and Road countries and participating economies. And China already making up exhibition center and many development measures to build up its trade ties with Belt and Road participating economies. And China, for this reason, China has has kept this trade as a key significant element of trade ties between the two countries, Belt and Belt and Road participating economies. And one of the key priorities of the Belt and Road Initiative is to boost trade ties and to reduce trade gap. And it will be very interesting to know that under the Belt and Road Initiative, getting the concern from the from the LDCs or poor economics and emerging economics about the trade deficit, China has raised its amount to import goods from poor countries too, despite having the conditions of the quality assurance. But China has taken the initiative to boost trade ties with the Belt and Road participating economics, and China will give issue and favorable conditions to its Belt and Road participating economics. And under these economics, we are being able to see the success. China is the largest recipient of loans to Bangladesh is the largest recipient of Chinese loan after Pakistan in South Asia. And having the concern of the Western criticism, yes, there are huge concern about the debt trap. You can see then in the Sri Lanka, there is a concern about the Sri Lankan debt trap, but also there is a debate about whether Sri Lanka is being debt trapped, falling in the debt trap under the Chinese or not, because there are debates from two sides. There are Western criticism because of that, but you can see even from Sri Lankan writers, policymakers, researchers are being interested to write that was the main issue is that whether it is debt trap or not, or the facilitation of trade or being investment. I have read some articles that it's always not a debt trap. Sri Lankan economy is also being benefited to be involved with Chinese economy, despite having some criticism from Western side. Yes, there are continuously negative attitude about the about the Belt and Road Initiative, particularly from the Western countries. But Bangladesh government is very concerned about it, but taking the issue is very seriously. Bangladesh government is taking the issue. Sorry, can you hear me? It's okay. Hello.
We are hearing. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's okay. All right.
Okay. So Bangladesh government is taking the issues very significantly, and despite having that criticism from different sides, but Bangladesh government is very hopeful that we're taking the issue and we are considering the issue and being aware of that Bangladesh is not going to fall on the debt trap, so-called the Trump. Although I have mentioned that there is a debate about whether it is debt trap or not, because I have already mentioned that Sri Lankan writers have also already mentioned that it's not always a debt trap. So I have read the two articles from two sides, debt trap and it is not a debt trap. So there is a debate actually what to know. And in Bangladesh, so far I have seen that the policymakers and economic policymakers are not being, whether it is a concern coming from the Western countries. So Bangladesh taking the issue seriously, considering it, and take every step with well consideration that whether Bangladesh is not going to underfall this trap and to make the optimum use, best use of Chinese investment, so that Bangladesh cannot have to face these challenges in the future.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. We are receiving a lot of questions from the participant, and I can see Dr. Nur Muhammad Shorpir is raising his hand. Dr. Mohammed, could you please, you can ask.
Sorry, am I audible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'll not make any question. I just want to share two comments. It's linked with the questions before asked. It's about what about debt trap is when under BRI even, when Chinese President Xi Jinping came into Bangladesh in 2016, we made billions of dollars of agreements. In every agreement there are two parties, so two state parties. So when we talk about debt trap, I think it's not practical thing, because debt trap is when you are imposing something over another and taking benefit of one's in bad condition. So, but in terms of BRI, China is making agreements with other countries with equal partnership in most of the cases. And secondly, two parties are involved here, and both parties are bargaining and having their agreement signed after reaching into considerable situation of bargaining. So debt trap is something like not all the projects bring fruits to all the parties. Sometimes parties can be ineffective. Sometimes parties can lose their momentums and all these. So it happens. So I think, and also another point is whether it will be ambitious project or not. I think even the Belt and Road project, it doesn't have it did not pass 1 decade. So I think it's too early to to mark it as a very ambitious and all these. What about, if we see after the Second World War, Marshall Plan and Truman Doctrine and all these in the European countries, actually there was nobody to criticize this kind of plans. If somebody could say it's ambitious at that time, what would be the response? But here now, in this present world scenario, there are a lot of Western countries criticizing China's Belt and Road Initiative. But I think people in the eastern side or in southern world are getting benefited out of it, both in terms of connectivity, in terms of trade and all this. And we have also seen this in this presentation. So I think it's very too early to mark the Belt and Road Initiative to call it as an ambitious project and all this. I think it might generate an opportunity for Bangladesh and China relations as well. Bangladesh is the largest dense populous countries in the world, and China has a lot to offer. Bangladesh also had a lot to offer. Just we need to find the opportunities where Bangladesh can contribute to China's import sector, and China also can contribute to Bangladesh's export sector. Then the trade gap will reduce ultimately. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Nur Mohammed. Thank you for your observation and comments. So thank you so much for joining us. So we have two different questions from our participant. Let me read one question, which is really very interesting. He asked, will Bangladeshi entrepreneurs be able to export goods to China at lower cost? This is his first question. And he actually explained a bit out of this question. He said, because we know that because of Chinese technology, they can easily produce any product at a lower cost. So how Bangladesh actually able to increase export to China anyway? Under this initiative, I mean, is there any other, what is called way to actually increase the, the product of export products, so that the entrepreneurs, I mean, the young entrepreneurs, they can come up with and they can export some product to China? I mean, probably this is the question actually.
Actually, I want to add some point regarding these issues, these questions. As you know, last year, I think, like 2020, Chinese government announced like more than 6,256 items that we can export in China due to fee. But whenever I talk with the businessmen in China or some association, but they didn't find the exact product that they can promote in China. So as the keynote speaker already mentioned that we can export leather product to China. In China, like 1.4 billion people, there is a huge market. And personally, I'm trying to promote like Bangladeshi product to China, so we can reduce our trade deficit. That is the issues, and most of the time the keynote speaker mentioned here. So I want to know that is there any specific more product that we can export to China? There is any list that we can think about it, and maybe the businessman can pay more attention those products to export in China.
Yes. First, about the issue of the low cost is very important. There's I have already mentioned that Belt and Road can be a platform for the bilateral discussion about the entrepreneurs and business person between the two countries, that how China can help in this regard, because China is the business magnet and all these equipments they have, and how Chinese entrepreneurs can help to Bangladeshi entrepreneurs in this regard to produce products in a low cost, right? I have already mentioned that the two countries can enhance collaboration particular in the information technology and electrical sectors. So Bangladesh can take this opportunity to take the assistance from Chinese side to produce products with low cost and to get access to the Chinese market. And already China has shown interested, and Chinese entrepreneurs are very interested to make the collaboration between the two countries, particularly on the information and technology, to produce goods with low cost. And there are many sunset industries I have already mentioned that they are very interested to come back to China and to boost the investment ties between the two countries, and that's how the investment can be beneficial to turn and to make incorporation between trade and investment, and Bangladesh's trade can be benefited from this sector, from particularly from information and technology, when China is very experienced on this issue. The second factor is that how we can include more products, right? We have only some few products, right? For example, that the apparel products, leather products, pharmaceutical products, fish. And we have also trade deficits with these products because China produces everything. China is the #1 largest apparel producing country and apparel exporting country, while Bangladesh is the second and Vietnam is the third. There's a competition between Vietnam and Bangladesh. So it's also very challenging for Bangladesh because we have very few products, even also very challenging, very lower number of exportable products to Chinese market. We're exporting to the Western countries. So how China can afford to offer help to assistance to us to increase its products to Chinese market? That I have already mentioned, there are some factors, technical and non-technical barriers, non-tariff measures, that Bangladesh is not being able to overcome these challenges. So Belt and Road Initiative can offer this opportunity between the two countries to have more bilateral discussion, to reduce the rules of origin terms and conditions, to make flexible terms and conditions for Bangladeshi entrepreneurs. And I have already mentioned the space for competitive advantage, that Bangladesh will produce new products, that China will have particularly low interest products on these products, but China might have demand on these products. but Bangladesh can be very interesting to produce these products. So Bangladesh is very important for Bangladesh entrepreneurs to understand the Chinese demand, what China needs, Chinese people need, and Chinese consumer demand is very important to know the Chinese growing demand among the Chinese consumer market. So Bangladesh can take this opportunity to understand the demand of Chinese market, to produce those products, to have bilateral discussion with Chinese entrepreneurship. Only the duty-free access will not increase the number, right? We will have to take this opportunity perfectly. So for this, in this sector, we need to address the problems, the rules of origin and technical and non-technical barriers, and the quality of the products we need to improve. It's very important, and also very important to know that the demand of Chinese side, to know the demand of Chinese side, and we will produce these products, and we will be able to increase more products and to export in Chinese market, I think.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so much for your explanation. And since actually we are about to finish our webinar, I'm going to take the last question from the participant. So we have one question from Alif Mahmoud. He said, what is your opinion about Belt and Road, BRI's significance and the impact will it play to modernize the economics of developing countries like Bangladesh or not? So he's trying to asking this question. The significance of BRI, whether it will play, some sort of role to modernize the economics of developing countries like Bangladesh. So that's the last question, actually, we take from the participant.
Yes, thank you for this question. I have already mentioned the significance of trade in Belt and Road Initiative because China has paid very important emphasis, important emphasis on this, because trade is one of the key priorities of Belt and Road Initiative. One of the key objectives of Belt and Road Initiative to boost Chinese trade ties with its trading partners, to reduce the trade gap, to make a balance of trade, and to boost connectivity, and to enhance regional economic integration particularly. Economy is a very important element of the Belt and Road Initiative. Particularly for this, China has made a new initiative, measure on this, under this framework, to incorporate trade with investment, because Belt and Road participating economies, particularly the low countries or LDCs, but you can say, or emerging economics or developing economics, are very interested on the investment issue. So how investment can play a significant role in trade sector to incorporate between trade and investment. So China has taken initiative to incorporate the two sectors, trade and investment, and how investment can play a significant role to reduce trade gap. Bangladeshi entrepreneurs need to understand this issue, to give more emphasis on this, to have more bilateral initiative discussion with Chinese entrepreneurs, and to solve to discuss on this issue. Yes, and how it will modernize the economy of the developing economy. I have already mentioned that one of the key objectives of the Belt and Road Initiative is to boost the trade ties and to ignite the growth, economic growth of the Belt and Road participating economy. So definitely, I do believe that under this framework, it will modernize the economy of developing countries. We are already on the beneficiaries of the Belt and Road Initiative. You can see the Daffodil project, and several projects are underway to complete under this framework. It will definitely play a significant role to the economic development in Bangladesh. And Bangladesh do believe that the Belt and Road Initiative can play a significant role to boost its economy, to modernize economy, and for this reason, Bangladesh government has said that perceives Belt and Road Initiative as a key element to be a developed country within 2041 or 40. So it signifies the importance of Belt and Road Initiative to modernize the economy of developing country.
All right, thank you, Dr. Yasmin. Thank you so much for your explanation. It was wonderful. It was a wonderful session. It was a wonderful question answer session as well. And so due to the time limitation, actually, we have to finish by 7 o'clock. So, it's a great honor to call our director of DIU Belt and Road Research Center once again to give his concluding remarks. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Mohsin. Thank you so much. First of all, I'd like to thank Dr. Sundar Yasmin for her wonderful deliberation, and he highlighted all the major issues of the relationship between China and Bangladesh, right? And as I was talking about the strategic priorities of BRI, and one of them was policy coordination. And by the way, from all the deliberations by the distinguished speakers, I can say that the relationship see the areas of our infrastructure, medical, during this COVID or before COVID. If I'm talking about education, trade, transaction, in all the areas, the relationship between China and Bangladesh is becoming more cohesive and stronger day by day. At the same time, some of the speakers have mentioned about the projects, including our chief guest, honorable vice Mr. Al Mamun, and so on. So the projects, the mega projects which are being implemented by the Chinese companies in our country. So these projects indicate that China has become a development partner of Bangladesh, right? So we are having a very warm relation with China. And at the same time, I see still we are always in unfavorable situation of our trade relations. I'm talking about international trade. And a lot of products are being imported from China, and you see Chinese products have become an integral part of our daily lives. Even if you go to a grocery market in our country or any shopping mall, we'll find that many products are from China, right? And we're using all these products. And we are also exporting some products, but the amount is very negligible, right? So I believe that from all these deliberations by the distinguished speakers, including our chief guest, special guests, and so on, we have got some food for thought. As their first priority is policy coordination or policy implementation, if I'm talking about BRI. So, and Daffodil, Daffodil International University is the first university in our country which has taken this initiative to establish a BRI center at our campus, at our university. So, from this institution or this center, we'll be taking, undertaking a lot of research projects so that we can see, or as I was talking about the food for thought from all these deliberations, we will be finding some areas where we can do research on. And so we are having a team of champion researchers, and we are giving emphasis on research activities on our faculty in our faculty. So from this center, we'll be encouraging all the faculty members, all the researchers to do research on these trade relations between Bangladesh, China, and we'll find some research output or absolutes which will be useful for Bangladesh, China in our future relationship, especially trade relationships. So by the way, I'm not taking time as we are running out of time. We are really grateful, or I am expressing my thanks to all the distinguished guests today we have had. Even though thanks, it is a very small one, but it's not enough to express our gratitude. However, we are expressing our thanks to all the distinguished personalities, President Lutfur Rahman, Honorable Vice Chancellor of this university, our keynote speaker, Dr. Sultana Yasmin, our special guests, Chen, Jiao, Mr. Al Mamun Vida, and Jiang Long Tao. And definitely my sincere thanks to Mr. Moderator, Dr. Ekam Motion, and my gratitude and thanks to all the participants for being so wonderful. Without your presence and participation, probably we could not have this webinar a success. So it's just a beginning from this center. It's just a beginning from this center. We'll continue this kind of webinar in coming days, and I hope it will work as a think tank, and we'll be working so from this center, so that we can make some contribution to the development of the relationship between China and Bangladesh in the days to come. With that expectation, I'd like to conclude here. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
So please, don't leave anyone. We're gonna take a group photo. So I want everyone to open your camera, please, with a beautiful smile. Please, we're gonna take a group photo. It's my request, just to open your camera and with a big smile, so that we can take a good picture together. All of you, please, all of you. It's a request. I can see few of them are not opening still yet. Please. Yeah, almost 2 or 3 more. Just a second, please. One more time. Everyone, please give a big smile on your face. Like, can all of you say cheese? 1, 2, 3, go. Cheese. All of you together. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 写着 like it's in Chinese, right? If I'm not wrong. 1, 2, 3. Say cheese, not the Chinese ones. 1, 2, 3. Cheese. All right. Thank you very much. Thank you so much. Thank you once again for joining us. Thank you so much for listening us for the last two hours long. And thank you to all the participants, all our distinguished guests. Thank you once again. Take care. Have a good day. Have a good evening, actually. All right. See you again soon with another topic, inshallah.